I've still never been confident enough to drill into the wall.
Really?
Yeah. I'm worried about studs or
whoever took
wires.
care of my room before me, they were real confident to put holes in the wall.
Yeah, I was running.
There's holes everywhere.
Yeah, this like on the wall and everything.
I'll look at the wall sometimes when I'm laying in bed and I'll be thinking, why would there be a hole like 2 inches down from the ceiling?
Well, I think that's like you can tell somebody got a drill. That's the day one on the drill. It's like I just spent all this money. I got to drill some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
make
mount
some
something.
holes.
Yeah.
I remember when I got my drill, dude, my first little DeWalt, dude. I remember doing that, just undrilling shit.
That was here when you're doing TVs?
Yeah, so when I got the TVs, it took me forever to save up for that drill.
It was
dude.
me that convinced you to buy that.
I remember I was like $80. I didn't want to spend $80.
I was telling you, it's like you're going to make money with this machine. This is called investing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I could buy weed with this stuff.
That's investing 101, and you were right.
A drill, you spend money on it, then within a couple of days you make that back. Now you just got a drill.
And then, dude, I took that. I did that for about a year and moved up to moving. Then I was renting a van.
Yeah.
Renting a damn van for $2,200 a month.
Feels bad to put all the money up front, but then you get it all back.
Yeah.
And then you're just clear.
But then when I was doing the van, there was some weeks I broke even. I'm like, man, I didn't work enough.
That's life, man. That's called running a small business.
Yep.
It's fucked up when you think that like restaurants, it's like the vast majority of restaurants close within 2 years.
Yeah.
And almost every single restaurant outside of like the most successful ones, at best they're breaking even.
Right.
Most of these businesses are actively losing money.
But they're having a fun time when they're doing it. You ever hang out with somebody who owns a restaurant?
They're fucking stressed out constantly.
But they're throwing hundreds around, dude.
Because they're
300.
They're drinking and they're like mad at the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And they start getting conspiracy. But like, it's just, imagine owning a business and you've worked your whole life for this and the business loses money.
I went to Kmart.
You'd be better off not having a business.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't realize the fun they're having on the way down. I think that's what you're missing out.
I could have more if I gave you $400,000 and told you to have some fun. I think you could find something better than opening a restaurant.
Well, they don't go into it with that, but I mean, they realize, dude, you could spend. I was with a dude owned a restaurant. And I went to like Kmart with him. He just dropped $600 like it was nothing. He's like, get it for the restaurant.
I could see where his restaurant was on its way towards. I think, those are the kind of guys who like. Everybody thinks that the restaurant is like that's the worst kind of business to open. Because you're just, the feeling of having a restaurant with no customers in it, you're just sitting in a room. You see it in this neighborhood when there's like a small business and there's just a guy standing in front of the door staring at you on the sidewalk when you're walking by.
Well, that's the worst when they're desperate for you to come in. Then you don't even want to eat.
Because they are desperate.
I know a few business owners. Heating and cooling is a good one.
Yeah.
People lose a lot of money in that one.
I was thinking once I get some money, it's like, rappers always want to start a business. People always want to start a nightclub. That's also, you're going to lose your money on that.
Oh, yeah.
If I get some money up, I'm opening a gym.
I mean, you'll still lose money on that, though.
Nah. How much could it cost to buy a squat rack and some dumbbells?
Yeah.
A couple grand?
Right.
Then that's paid for. I just want a place where I can a room where it's like you pay $40 for an hour. And the room is yours.
Yeah.
Just like a room maybe this size with like a squat rack, dumbbells, bench press.
And you just rent it for the hour?
And that's it. No, you don't got to share this equipment with anybody. At the end of the hour, someone's going to come in and clean everything, and you can just go through your whole routine. No one's going to bother you.
Well, how much
that would be amazing.
The person cleaning?
I don't know, $10.
Oh, dude, nobody's coming
$12
in cleaning for $12.
Oh, maybe you give the person. How long is it going to take to clean a room?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, minimum wage is like $15.
Yeah, give them $15. Yeah, you get
25.
Well, I mean, that room is going to be
bad business plan.
That room is going to be rented 24 hours a day. There's going to be somebody who's going to be like, "I'll take the 3 a.m. spot, as long as I know it's just me." I swear, there's got to be so many people just like me who would love to go to the gym if there weren't any other people there.
It's something that's not around. I'll give you that, but.
And the reason why all these gyms, like, if they do lose money, it's because all they have is a bunch of fucking ellipticals, and they have all this girl shit.
The treadmills, yeah.
And it's like you only need one treadmill.
Yeah.
To like a quick warm up. All anybody wants to do these days. I mean, the treadmills, it was like the 80s. People were doing like, There's a lot of cardio back then.
Neon clothes.
Exactly. All anybody wants these days is free weights.
Yeah.
No Smith machine. No, not even like weight machines. Just free weights, dumbbell, deadlift, squat, rows.
Prison workouts.
You're in and you're out. A workout should only take 45 minutes at most.
And you got to allow people on with construction boots.
Hey, you paid for the hour.
Yeah.
You do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to work out in jeans, you want to just look at your phone for an hour, that's on you.
Yeah.
And the reason why, I mean, like, so much better to pay for the hour in a gym, because then it's like you got to get down to business.
I'll tell
There's
you.
no hanging out.
I got a genius thing to help you out. This is what you do. An old Roy Ayers trick. You divide the room into 4s.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this way, every 15 minutes, a new room opens. So the cleaning person that's getting 15 an hour.
That's smarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I say one room, I'm not literally going to open up an apartment studio, like a studio.
I was thinking just one single room.
But I mean, it's going to be like you walk into like a, massage parlor.
Yeah.
You go in here to get jacked off. You go to the next room to get jacked off. But it's like they're not in the same room.
Right.
It's a private room.
Yeah.
But the room itself, my point why I think my business is better than a regular gym is that there's not going to be a bunch of extra stuff. We don't need massage chairs.
Those kettlebells, the circle with the round thing.
Kettlebell's fine with me. That's a free weight at least.
Yeah.
But we don't need like the thigh machine and like the leg extent. We're not doing legs at my gym either.
I know one thing since I've been just started going to the gym. It's been about 4 years since I've really been back at the gym, and I just started going. I noticed a major change that you have to put this in. This is real big. You got to have equipment to get everybody a big ass. Because the dudes,
squats,
the girls, you need special machines.
Squats and deadlifts.
But people aren't going to, they want to see a picture of the ass.
They're doing the thing now where it's like you get the bench press and you do your hips.
Maybe it would work if you put a picture of a fat ass on a squat machine.
I think there are so many guys just like me. There is a huge untapped market in this country who are not being served by 24-hour fitness. Even Equinox. Equinox is like $200 a month or something.
Yeah.
And you see pictures of it and videos. It's still crowded.
Packed.
There's like hundreds of people there. They're paying so much money. And you still got to like ask somebody if they're done with their bench yet.
Yep.
It's like, this is not a good way to live.
Yeah, you can call it the Maniac Box.
Well, it's like back in the days. Remember going to a movie theater when you were a little kid? You just had to get there early and pick a seat. And hopefully the good seats aren't gone. You get there a little bit too late, and now you got to sit in like the front row corner.
Yeah.
These days, you go on the app, you reserve your seat. You know you're going to get the seat you're going to get.
Right.
Some people were mad at that transition because they're like, oh, whatever happened to just, getting there early. But it's like, no, this is better in every way.
It's better except for the fact that nobody pays attention to the seats, and 20 minutes into the movie, there's, I'm K13.
Well, that's just part of it, though. But it's like, you know what your seat's going to be.
They tried to put assigned seats on the Greyhound bus. People just weren't having it.
Yeah, it's like Southwest.
Yeah.
It's just a low class. That's why you fly Southwest sometimes, right?
Yeah, try not to.
Where it's like you're just in like group B,
yeah,
B2 or something, and you just get on the plane and everybody's like trying to reserve a seat next to them.
They charge you at the door.
They put their bag on the seat.
Yeah.
Just to like play a mind game with you. It's like, no, people cannot be trusted.
The dude at Southwest, I thought I had it for the carry-on. I'm like, look, dude, it said one, I was like, I just got a suitcase. It said one item.
Yeah.
He's like, nah. I was like, but wait, I could have a book bag, but I can't have a suitcase to carry on. So he's like, look, man, just give me 60. I'll let you through. Wow. I had a Cash App the dude. Wow. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Cash App from at Southwest.
That is some balls right there.
Yep.
That's like a Spirit Airlines move.
Yeah, maybe it was Spirit. I don't know.
That doesn't sound like Southwest.
Okay,
Southwest is like a legitimate business. That sounds like Frontier or something.
Must have been Spirit.
Yeah.
I do Spirit a lot too.
Oh man,
I'm done with it. I'll tell you what, Spirit was so bad it made me not even want to do Southwest. I don't even want to go to an airline that starts with an S now. I'm done with it.
Well, Spirit Airlines, I'm guessing this was you're paying this out of pocket.
Yeah, American Airlines is the way to go.
But I mean, like that wasn't a boat.
No.
Yeah, they're flying you out on like.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if the boats flew you out on Spirit.
Oh, every now and then you might hit a Spirit one.
If you got to go Spirit to London.
Oh, I don't even think that's a flight.
They're gonna go around the world, and
You'd be on British Air.
Yeah, you're gonna end up on a bus.
They what do you call? I do American Airlines is competitive, man.
Delta and American. Are
Yeah.
the best, yeah.
Yeah, Delta's
Alaska's
still a little
not
bit
bad.
more pricey.
Yeah, Delta is like I think that's slightly the best one at this point.
Yeah,
But-
JetBlue was, but dude, JetBlue is trash now. You can't even get a fucking water on JetBlue. You got to pay for it.
Yeah. Everything's like that. That's why this country needs order. We
Yeah.
need strong leadership.
Well, order
We need reservations for the gym.
order just don't work sometimes. You know, that's the problem with order.
That's why we need somebody who's actually going to make a bold move.
Like, you know what I don't get when you're on a flight and there's one person acting crazy, but they're like, we're just going to let this person act crazy because they might physically fight us. Then there's one person that's not really crazy, but they're still breaking the rules. Maybe their headphones are too loud. And they'll throw that person off the plane. There was one dude
Right.
ready to fight, standing up, took his shirt off. I was on a flight, and his wife made him do it. His
Yeah.
wife's like, Joan, you believe this, Joan?
This is like the fourth time you've told the story on the podcast.
Yeah. And
It's
either
supposed to
way,
really be-
but this is what bothers me.
yeah.
You know, that particular flight, they kicked somebody off because the person was, I don't know. So basically, there was two larger individuals
Yeah.
in the seats, and then the person couldn't fit in the middle. So
yeah,
the person was like, hey, and I seen the person was sitting sideways.
yeah.
So the person's like, hey, they got to move their seat, this and that. And he's like, I got to move. So he's standing up, and he's like, I can't fit in my seat. And they're taking out all their aggression on him when there's a dude that took his shirt off, said, I'll murder all you guys.
Right.
And they're just leaving that go. What type of order is that?
I mean, that's just arbitrage at that point. You got to pick your poison.
Shouldn't they throw that guy off, though?
Well, you don't want to confront that guy because it's like you might actually get punched.
Right.
I mean, you got to pick what's actually going to cause more trouble overall.
The nice guy always finishes last.
Yeah.
Here's
Well,
this
I mean, in
nice
that
guy.
situation, you want to be the guy who's not even in the story.
Yeah.
Most people aren't even. Yeah, but it's like I get it from the standpoint of like it's the same thing with like security guard. You see the videos on TikTok. It's like, why isn't anybody stopping the guy stealing from CVS?
Oh, yeah.
It's like because I'm not fucking doing it. That's why.
I get that.
It's the same logic, but it's like well, you're not paying me enough to get stabbed at my job.
But nobody's going to hijack a CVS. Like, if there's one person that shouldn't be on the plane,
Right. Yeah, maybe.
it's the guy that took
Well-
his shirt off, saying he's going to murder everybody.
Well, I mean, like it'd be one thing if he pulled out a knife, but it's like what? There's an air marshal on that train that's got like a gun, probably. So.
You think?
Yeah.
You think those
I
airports...
think that's what they say. There's somewhere in first class. There's like a guy who's actually an air marshal.
Get out.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I think they don't tell you for sure, but it's like I'm pretty sure that's how that operates.
And that's just his job to fly.
Well, it's his job just in case something goes down. 9/11/2 happens.
They say there's Navy SEALs on ships, too, on cruise ships.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be a little bit more surprised about that.
Me too. It's like, well, I guess if you are a pirate or something, you hit a cruise ship, they got 10,000 people on it.
I think a cruise ship is big enough that you could just kind of disappear into it.
Yeah.
Imagine if you actually had to have a manhunt on a cruise ship like that.
Well, they got facial recognition cameras.
Still, though, I'm pretty sure you could, fake mustache your way out of that one.
Yeah, possibly.
I think we do agree, though. This country needs order. We need strong leadership.
Lines at the deli.
It's one thing we've proven as a country is that we are not able to self-govern ourselves. There's too many people who are taking advantage of the rules. Too many people who want to take 2 benches instead of 1. Oh, there's this guy on the treadmill. I saw a guy on the treadmill at Planet Fitness running while lifting dumbbells,
Yeah.
like the little 10 pounds. And he's like, he had around the machine, he was taking 3 different. He had the center treadmill, and he had his weights on the treadmills next to him.
Oh,
So
man.
in between, he wouldn't even stop the treadmill. He would just sort of spread his legs and stand on it, and then pick up the dumbbells and do a little dance thing. And he's running backwards and shit. And it's like, this is too much.
Working out 3 times a year.
Yeah. Well, I think the guy looked like he was in shape, but I mean, the point I'm making is that somebody else needed those weights.
in the treadmills.
And you're taking up more than you're given space.
Yeah, I see it two ways too at the bench. I'll see either the bench press will have 11 kids on it just laughing and joking, working out for hours but not getting a good workout.
They all look like Adam Pilato.
Yeah, and it's like they'll put like 5 pounds of side on.
Yeah.
I'll see that, but then then I also see the big guys will put order, but then I see the big guys do the same thing. They'll get like every dumbbell from like size 10 to like 110 and just have them around.
They got some weird system they're working on.
Yeah, and then they're doing what's it called? Circuits?
Yeah. Well,
doing a circuit.
Yeah. And you try to call them on it, and they're like, no, this is what I do. I got here first.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, how much longer till you're done with the 35s? You got to have both sets of 35s. Well, that one's got a better handle on it.
Yeah. You got the 25 and the 10. Just put them together.
I mean, that's what makes America great. See, the same thing happens in entertainment. There's that one guy grabbing all the dumbbells, and we might, it's the guy would always say, hey, do you mind if I go first? It's that guy.
No, it's the guy who asks.
And then he goes up, and then you see that guy in the future. You'll see him on TV, and you're like, damn, I should have kept all them fucking dumbbells.
That's because it's called selfishness. People are selfish.
Yeah.
And they need to be put in their place.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah. That's why it's like we need somebody, we got to start making bold moves. Private gym. I'm sure this idea probably already exists.
Oh, in Youngstown.
I bet it costs like thousands of dollars.
Well, they have something similar to what you're talking about in Youngstown. It's like in one of those.
I bet it's like when like athletes train or something.
It's a storefront mall. No, it's just called Steel Valley.
Yeah.
It's open 24 hours. There's no doorman even there.
Oh, wow.
You just go in with a card and work out.
My gym wouldn't even have music playing.
I don't think this place does.
Just straight up fluorescent lights.
Yeah. This place is just an empty place inside a mall shopping center.
Yeah.
Open 24 hours a day. Rusty weights.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's some man shit.
Yeah.
Nobody's cleaning the fucking place. I'll tell you that. That's where you're gonna lose out. You don't want somebody
even cleaning. Here's the thing: if I had the room to myself, I would clean it myself. I would wipe down the bench. I'd be down to wipe down the bench before I even started. The problem is that I just don't want to be. I don't want to wipe down the bench and then the next guy sits down and we got to swap in and out.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what? I got to keep wiping off his sweat.
Yeah, I guess so. It's the price you got to pay.
That's the price I'm paying for having a $10 gym.
Or you could just be, like you said, any gym, you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
You got to just become famous, dude. I've been saying this for years. You got to come up with an accent, a Japanese accent, and just start doing that on stage.
Even then, though, I'm still going to be at Equinox at that point, and there's still going to be fucking people everywhere.
Dude, do you realize how much money you're going to make? Fuck Equinox. You'll buy an Equinox.
I don't know. A lot of people at Equinox got a lot of money, and they're still going through it. I mean, they're going through it with they got towels that smell like mints or something, but they don't got it's still, you still get no respect.
I'll tell you what, when I went back to Ohio recently and I seen my aunt's house, she's got a gym in the basement, a sauna.
Wow.
Dude, I'm like, I can't believe you could get all this stuff pretty cheap.
Yeah. Is she really
rubber floor
she's
mats?
Loaded like that?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's a regular income in Ohio.
Wow.
I mean, it's not much. You can get a sauna for your house for probably like $1,500. I think I seen one for $800.
A sauna or a hot tub?
No, that thing that's all wood and you sit in there and it's hot.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I thought that was way more money than that.
Yeah, no, they got them cheap. It's small. They're not
I don't
big.
know if I would trust that in my house.
Might burn your house down. It's electric.
I feel like I'd get stuck inside or something.
Nah, man. There's no lock on it.
No, I don't know.
Nah, dude, I seen it. It's
sounds
beautiful.
like what a way to. Yeah, that sounds like a bad way to go out.
And then people got they got the tanning beds in their house, the jacuzzi out back, dude. All for like $600 a month. I'm telling you, for what I'm paying to rent a room here.
Yeah.
I mean, also I would be in Ohio in the woods somewhere, but it might be a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if I ever buy a house, it's like day one that is going to be a home gym somewhere in there. But it's like, I think even just mentally though, I think it would be better to go to a place. It would be pretty cool to.
It would, but you getting way better. When I had a gym at my house, I was real strong, man.
Yeah.
I was benching like 300 pounds because it was right in the basement.
But this is also just like as a business idea. I think it would be cool because it would be a business I would start, and then other people would see my business and they'd rip me off. And next thing I know, there would be everybody. There would be these gyms everywhere.
Well, you
And
know
we'd
what?
fucking finally put Planet Fitness out of business.
You know what you could do? You could put the gym in your house. You live upstairs. You keep an eye on the cameras.
Yeah, I could see that as when I'm first getting started.
Yeah.
But once that becomes a success, then I'm opening up gyms everywhere. All these weed stores that are getting busted, bench press.
Yeah.
Yep. Pull-up bar.
And sell weed in it.
Yeah.
Get your hair cut in there.
There are so many places where it's like I don't know who's in charge of this business, but I could run this better than you could. Just in terms of like a business is a space that you go into and the space makes money because people spend money here. I could do better than 90% of these people.
You know, you don't realize though, too, is you're a pretty smart dude. Like when you told me invest in the drill, what would you call that? That's some business term, investing in a business. And you just know from reading books, yeah, you invest in a business.
It costs you a little bit up top and it hurts up top.
Yeah.
$80 is a lot of money, but it's like you're going to make that back in 2 TVs.
Yeah.
Max. And then it's like, yeah, you're in the clear.
Yeah, see, that's some business economics shit I've never learned.
Think about how many movies come out. And it's like a regular movie budget these days is like $100 million.
Still.
Yeah. I mean,
Holy
this movie budgets have not gone down. Things have only gone up despite technology. But even then, how many of these big Marvel movies are coming out and costing $200 million and losing $100 million? Think about it. You spend 2 years working on a project. You make this big deal out of it, and you come out of it with $100 million less than when you went into it.
Wow.
That is crazy.
But
And
then
that's just the business.
I find it hard to believe that's the business. That's this person just bought a house in L.A. He
No,
bought a mansion for $3 million
this is
with
Marvel.
the money.
Marvel is taking huge hits.
You don't think they're stealing some of the money?
No, the reason why this business kind of evens out is that like you do 10 of those movies and one of them is Iron Man.
Yeah.
And then you make all your money back. But these DC Marvel movies are routinely losing $100 million.
I don't see how they could even spend that much on a movie.
I mean, they think it's going to work.
But I mean, where would that money even go? Like, dude, you don't need that much to make a movie.
You got to pay the lady from the Taco Bell commercial. And you got to get I don't know. I mean, most of the thing with when you say $100 million budget, that's just to make the movie. It's another $100 million to market.
Yeah.
And you end up paying for billboards in Times Square and stuff.
Wow.
But just the feeling of like, think about how much it hurt you to lose $80 to buy that drill.
Yeah.
How much there's just people that are just wantonly losing money.
I'm about
on comedy clubs and on.
Yeah. How many of those do we know that closed down?
Yeah.
I'm 3,000 in the hole on my short movie right now.
3,000. That like as much as that hurts, that's nothing.
Right.
That is like that is bottled water for a movie.
And the crazy, it's a good quality movie. That's what that's why I'm like, dude, 3,000 is nothing. I shot a movie with 14 cast members in a location, and it's like the quality is like.
Well, you did
great.
Yeah, I mean it's because of union stuff.
Yeah.
People are paying like real wages for everybody. You didn't actually pay any of these people like
$60.
Yeah, exactly. They would have made. Yeah, that's not like you're not paying full-time wages to people. But yeah, it's movies. People spend 14-hour days for 5 months or something, and that's just the front end. And then you got to add all the Marvel effects and everything.
Yeah.
And you got to license a song from Taylor Swift or something.
What about when Ice Cube makes movies? He funds his himself. He ain't spending no $100 million.
He did for Friday. I don't think he still does.
Oh, you think he dropped that type of money?
Yeah. Well, no, not anymore. Now he's big studio movies.
Yeah.
His Kevin Hart movies. He's not.
Oh yeah, that's true.
On that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goes to show though, Friday was made for like nothing.
The first
Friday was made for like everybody was making like minimum SAG.
Yeah.
And that was like by far the best Friday movie.
It was.
Not even close. By far the funniest, and that shows you don't really need like a big budget for comedy like that.
Yeah, you really don't. You just need Chris Tucker.
You need John Witherspoon, Chris Tucker, yeah.
And they didn't want Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Remember, it's always weird when you look at who the movies wanted. They'll be like, yeah, we didn't want Chris Tucker. We want Robert Redford at first.
Yeah.
Be like, what?
He's going to get Denzel Washington to
Yeah.
be Smokey.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just get this super charismatic guy instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't want Chris.
It's crazy too, because Chris Tucker he did that movie, and then he did Rush Hours 1 through 3.
No, he had some other ones. He had a real good one people don't know about called Money Talks.
He did Money Talks, but like the big movies. After he did the first Rush Hour movie, the only movies he ever did was the next 2 Rush Hours.
Was Money Talks? I could be wrong, but wasn't it
Charlie
with
Sheen?
That's the dude, right? That was Charlie Sheen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dude that was real famous.
Yeah.
Did the drugs and hookers and got crazy on TV and stuff. Damn, that's
AIDS and
crazy. That was him in that movie.
Yeah. Well, that was when he was like at his peak cocaine years. It was like
Really?
yeah, when he was really rocking out.
I can't even think of anything he was in other than that. And I don't even know why he's famous. Like, what was he in?
Major League.
Yeah, I never seen it.
It was based in Cleveland.
Wow.
Cleveland Indians.
Get out.
That was like their wacky comedy back in the 90s when they were making sports comedies. And he's like, yeah, it's a great movie.
Wow.
Yeah, they made a couple of them.
What do you think made him famous?
His father was Martin Sheen.
Mm.
Apocalypse Now and everything.
It's always the father.
Well, I mean, Charlie Sheen is also super talented. I mean, like he's a very good actor.
Not that I'm going to mention names, but I'm back in Ohio, and sometimes I hang out with some of these kids that are. It's not like I'm purposely hanging out with them, but I got a younger sister and there's friends, and there'll be people around that are younger. Those younger, like, act like they know it all type of people.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time it's like these people around guys from the ages of 17 to 25 feel like they know everything.
Yep.
And a dude's telling me, he goes, oh man, you got to be like this comedian that I watch. And we both know the comedian. And he's like, he's only famous because he does this on podcasts. I'm like, no, that dude's famous for other reasons. Trust me. It's like he knows somebody hooked him up.
Yeah, that's the story for every single comedian.
It's a lot of
there's always a mix of luck and actually, like, a bunch of other stuff you're not seeing.
And majority of the time, the luck is I was lucky enough to know this motherfucker that's the yes man.
Yeah. I mean, you stay in the mix long enough, hopefully you meet the guy.
Suck up to enough people.
Yeah.
When I start to pop, I'm going to go around and find everybody that I think is pretty decent and have them open for me and give them money because it's going to pay off in 5 years when they blow up.
And you got to make sure you're blackmailing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
you're
like,
right.
Set up a couple GoPros in the room.
Yeah.
Send in some, hookers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you send that email in the middle of the night. It's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get one of those pig masks.
Yeah. I bet that happens more than people realize.
That's all the Illuminati is one person blackmailing people.
Just straight up, yeah. All you need is a couple cameras and just, one late night. Can't sleep. Next thing you know, you're in debt for the rest of your life.
My dream was always to be famous enough that, like, Illuminati would come out of the shadows and they would tell me, make a joke about this. And if I didn't do it, they would end my career.
Right. You got to wear the dress.
Yeah, I would wear the dress.
Yeah.
Would you wear the dress?
The people make such a big deal out of the dress. I think it's just specific to, like, the black community. But for me personally, it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I would wear it.
I mean, if it was funny or if it was just a big check.
I never understood why is it specific to a black community like that with the dress.
There's some sort of, like, conspiracy about, like, it's a lot of Illuminati stuff.
But what about, so there's no Illuminati with a white person wearing a dress? He's just being white.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. Was that Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire, that's just him kind of being a wacky guy.
Even way back in the 40s and 30s, you watch comedy, that's what comedy was.
Yeah, that was just like a kind of a goof back then.
Vaudeville days, it was
Jerry
always
Lewis
dudes in dresses, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think these days, there's not as much... You wouldn't be asked to put on the dress these days.
It's hacky now. I mean, it's like, bro, I want to do it for the pure reason that it's been done 20 billion times before.
Yeah. You got to present me something fresh.
I'd say put me a karate suit on.
Yeah, it better be a nice dress.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
a nice dress. You're right. Or stretch my neck out. Give me one of those long necks
Oh yeah, right.
for a movie.
Yeah.
I'd get those rings on my neck and stretch my neck out for a movie.
The thing is, it's like, I mean, I'm not like an actor, so I doubt this is gonna come up. But like, most of us would do anything if it's
Well-
funny. It's not like someone's the rest of your life they're gonna be like, oh, you're the dress guy. It's like, no, people aren't this. People know it's a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're not actually gonna. People realize enough, I think, at this point that they're not really gonna hold it against them.
Well, some people, honestly, it's crazy. There's some people in the Midwest that don't realize stuff is a movie. Like, there's people that I've talked to in the car detail shop and like Training Day, and
Yeah.
it was like Denzel's first maybe big breakout movie to where everybody probably knew him. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing.
I don't know. Denzel Washington had quite a career before that.
But these people at the car wash, this guy and specifically, he just thought that was Denzel for real. He's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, that's how he is. He's like, they find people to play those roles.
You didn't see like Denzel in Glory? Like,
I guess not.
yeah.
You know, and I remember he really thought it was him, and then when the next movie came
Malcolm
out,
X.
well, he had another movie like Equalizer, and it
Yeah.
was kind of similar. He's like killing people.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I fucking told you. It was
Wow.
like a 3-year argument between me and this guy. I'm like, dude, that's not. I was like, trust me, that Denzel's an actor.
It's called acting.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
couldn't. Some people in the
There's a
Midwest don't
camera
get
and
that.
everything. Wow.
Those are the people that believe in wrestling and stuff. They'll be
Yeah.
like, dude, you're gonna sit here and tell me wrestling's fake?
Yeah, they
It's
would tell
those
us if it
people.
was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck is it fake? It's those people
Yeah.
watching Monday Night Raw with their Salisbury steak.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever get into wrestling?
I had to quit watching it when I was a kid. We talked about this before too. Remember, I punched out the glass window.
Oh, right, yeah. You were one of those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah. And luckily, you got it out of your system.
yeah. I was 5 or 6 when I had to quit watching it.
Wow.
Wrestling did make violence. People were choking people, slamming each other. It wasn't a good thing.
See, yeah, a lot of people like to defend it by saying, like, people know that it doesn't make people violent. It's like, it definitely makes you do some stuff.
I'm getting.
If you're a
old.
little kid like that,
Yeah, dude, without a doubt. I'd be running around doing that, ripping my shirts.
yeah,
I
just
used-
jumping off the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what do you call it? Anytime now, I'm getting older now. I used to love watching wrestling, and I remember, I don't know what it was on, but those videos of people getting hurt. Maybe that was Rob Dyrdek, or maybe before that.
It's like Jackass
Funny
days.
as something. Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, I used to like watching people fall and get hurt. It would crack me up. Somebody sent me that on TikTok. I'm like, dude, don't send me
Yeah.
this. I don't want to see people getting hurt.
Well, a lot of the TikTok stuff now, it's like it's even darker. And
Right,
more
the bones
extreme.
are broke for
Yeah,
real.
Jackass was like, here's us doing pranks and being goofy.
Yeah,
And now it's just like, yeah, it's actually like a lady falling off a roof.
yeah. It's not comedy.
Yeah. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, I don't like none of that stuff anymore. A lot of stuff I used to be into. I think I'm getting older. My friend told me because he goes, as you get older, you become less of a man because your testosterone.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, that's why you're not into that.
That's
type
why
of
you're not
stuff.
watching wrestling no more.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
He's
you
like,
gotta rub some stuff into your thighs.
yeah. He's like, you're more of a woman now.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I've been debating on. I'll tell you what, he lives a great life. Even I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm too feminine around girls too. I used to be like have that scratchy voice, be all
Right.
dramatic about stuff.
Well, you used to smoke too, right?
I'd be like, do you want this other lemon?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, it's like you give your girl half your sandwich. That's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, you can have it. You can have it, Neeners.
Yeah, Venmo me.
Yeah. It's not a manly thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe I got something stuck in my head. I was talking to a girl. She's from like overseas, Croatia or something.
Mhm.
And she said she hates how American men are like women. That's what she said. She goes, where I'm from, a man is a man.
Yep. He doesn't ask you where you want to go to dinner.
Well, I
He
guess.
just grabs you, and next thing you know, Thai food.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah, we're eating here.
Well, she said all those guys over there, she got tired because they wouldn't work. She was just giving them all her money. And it's like, well, is that a man thing? Like,
Yeah, men don't work.
yeah, over here, I guess it confused her.
Oh,
She's
wow.
like, men are soft, but they have money.
yeah. Well, they ask you what you want to do.
Yeah.
I could see, I mean, like, as dumb as that sounds, I could see there's a little bit of logic in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it takes, instead of having two people deciding what restaurant to go to, it's like, no, you're in charge.
And not even that. It's like it's in our DNA. Women want a manly man. They want that guy. It's like, babe, come here. They don't want, hey, Nemers. And you know how we are in America, all soft.
I don't know. It's working out for a lot of guys.
Yeah. She was like, I don't understand. She liked over there how they'll smack her in the face. She's like, there's a little bit of that fear.
That's no good.
Yeah, I was like, we don't do that.
We don't sign off on that here.
I'm like, you don't understand. You don't need to get hit. But she liked it, I guess.
Oh, wow.
She was like, it's that fear of, if you mess up, you get the shock. That's what she called it. He give me a shock. If we wake up and no coffee, he give me a shock. I'm like, what, he's smacking you? Beautiful girl.
She misses that.
Yeah.
She's someday she'll move back to her home country, get smacked around some more.
Yeah, she's like, American men they're not manly.
Wow. That's why I got to open my gym up.
Yeah.
We got to get some testosterone flowing in this country. No more leg days. No more ellipticals. We're going back old school.
Well,
free weights.
Leg days up your testosterone.
You do some squats.
Yeah, that's leg day.
But I mean, we're not doing the leg, like the,
Oh, yeah.
The thigh, like back of your leg stuff. No. Starter strength, deadlift, bench press, rows. We're doing that.
Get a boxing gym in there.
Yeah. I'm going to go, pay a little extra. I'll show up and insult you for a while. Call you a bum.
That's all you need to do to be a boxing coach.
Get you riled up. I bet I doubt this is ever going to come up, but if somebody put me in charge of them to manage a boxer, to train a boxer, give me 2 months, you're going to come out better than when you went in.
What would you do?
I'm not going to say, in terms of like, I'll hold the gloves, you go.
Oh, you'd hold the mitts too?
Oh, yeah, I do everything.
I think you need somebody specifically to hold the mitts, though.
I could figure that shit out. This is right, left.
Yeah.
Uppercut.
But you got to be the guy that's yelling at him. Tuck down when you're doing it,
Exactly. No, it's like customato.
You'll do it all, hold the mitts and tell him?
Yeah, well, it's like you do it for like, I'll let him punch himself out for like 30 seconds and I'll stop him. It's like I put my hand on his shoulder. It's like, son, I see what you're trying to do, but I'm trying to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
You're trying to be at this level. I'm trying to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
And if I just give him a bunch of vague bullshit like that, eventually
Art of war stuff.
Yeah. You got to know yourself.
The max speed of a giraffe is 18 miles an hour. But when it's chased by a lion, it'll run up to 36 miles
Exactly.
per hour.
You got to imagine yourself. You're a battleship.
Yeah.
You got to know that battleship before you take on that battleship. And you give him a bunch of stuff like that. And you tell him to, wash his face.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I feel like, I'm sure there is a lot of technical stuff to it, but give me like 2 weeks to watch some YouTube videos. I'll figure something out.
Dude, I'll tell you what you got to do. You get your fighter, and then you say, look, I'm going to make you a great fighter. I'm going to make you tough as nails. All you got to do is find some Mexicans and hang out with them. And he'll get tough.
There you go.
Dude, he's going to be doing construction, moving concrete.
Well, it'll be like some Mr. Miyagi shit where I just got him doing errands for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how tough those guys are?
Mm-hmm.
Those Mexican fighters are the ones you got to look out for.
Well, they're the guys who don't necessarily get to the top, but they the undercard.
It's because they got bad management.
Well, it's because they just take too much punishment. They just get the shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
And then they die on their shield. Or
lose their hearing and stuff.
Yeah. I think in the long run, someone like Floyd Mayweather or something, that's where you end up having a career.
Yeah, but you need that. How much? I think I'm more about the excitement. Those Mexican fighters are exciting.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as a Mayweather fight.
Yeah. I could see though from like the perspective of a trainer or something.
Yeah.
Imagine if that was your guy. If you spent 4 months in a training camp with this guy and this dude is just getting pounded in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And he's not even blocking anything, no footwork or nothing.
Right.
Just stand and bang.
I would have him doing construction and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be like, take off your shoes and work on this roof.
I would love to just like be the guy where it's like Rocky, where it's like we're chasing the chicken.
Yeah.
And just getting to invent all these stupid exercises for him.
Running with a tire.
Yeah, we're going to get some tires, and I'm going to spin it this way. You got to chase it on your hands and knees.
I had a track coach when I was boxing. I took 3 months off of boxing to run track because I was like, all my friends were running track.
Yeah.
I was the slowest person on the team, but the training from what we did in track practice, I went back to the boxing gym, beat the shit out of everybody, no problem. I haven't
It's
even
just all that cardio, right?
Yeah, it's like I could not get tired.
Yeah.
Bro, he'd have us running with tires. He'd be following us with a pickup truck. It was like in the movies.
Old school.
Yep, and we're running with tires.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. And he had you'd be taking breaks and doing sit-ups and when you get to the track, it was like a 5-mile course, and when you get back to the school, you're doing sit-ups. You're throwing up multiple times from training. And we did that for 3 months. Dude, I went back to that gym. It's insane. You don't even need boxing training to be that great of a boxer, honestly. If you're just way more fit, people can't. Nobody puts in that heart to be that fit. Where you don't get gassed out like Ali. Look at those old Ali fights. You know how fit he had to be.
But I mean, he was also a trained boxer.
Yeah,
Ali
but
was all footwork and shit too.
But that's what I mean. That's where the fitness came in.
I mean, the fitness in terms of being able to go the distance in long fights. He wasn't a big power puncher, but there was a lot of technical stuff going on.
But you know how much all that footwork wears you out? The average human
I think
can't
the
do
average
that.
person, if you just take a random guy off the street, he's not going to even know what to do with his feet in the boxing gym. To actually circle around.
Yeah,
I think the average person is just going to start tripping themselves over their own legs. It's
but that person's even more awkward to fight.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're maybe discounting the art of boxing a bit. Yeah,
I think the person that's trained boxer is gonna expect certain things. Now, if I go get some my buddy Curtis, who's just nuts, just get him in great shape. Nobody knows what Curtis is gonna. You can't predict what Curtis is gonna do.
He might not even show up,
bro. He's barking. I'm telling you, Curtis is gonna be spitting, barking.
It's the art of war.
You can't fight somebody like that. I fought Curtis. He whipped the shit out of me one time.
Wow.
I didn't even see where the stuff was coming from.
Yeah. Probably tackling you in the middle of the ring.
I would have loved to see Curtis versus Ali. That would have been a fight.
That's like what Floyd Mayweather does these days, where all of his fights are just some wacky bullshit. It's just some guy. It's like John Gotti's son or something.
I seen the ones where he's going overseas.
He's just fighting somebody in Dubai. And it's the hottest Dubai fighter. And Floyd is just fucking ragdolling him.
Yeah.
At 45 years old.
It's like back when Tyson did his thing. I remember we all went to go see Tyson.
Yeah.
And everybody had on huge padding. The dude looked like the Michelin Man.
Yeah. That's what old school boxers. I mean, this is back in Rocky Marciano days. That's or Raging Bull. That's how the end of your career went.
Yeah.
Or after you were done being the champ. You just tour the country just doing wacky shit like that.
You buy a nightclub.
Well, it's it's like a circus where it's I'll fight 10 men.
Oh, yeah.
10 men, and then you just beat them all up and you hop on the train and just run to the next city.
I have a world champ from my hometown. He just opened up a boxing gym. It's crazy, actually.
Boom Boom Mancini?
No, but Boom Boom's back there, too. I don't know what Boom Boom's doing, but this is Kelly Pavlik.
Right, yeah.
You know what's crazy? When you talk the art of boxing, I don't remember. I think my trainer got drunk and forgot I had a fight. So I get there and he couldn't work my corner. So I had nobody in my corner. I was just going to go fight with nobody there. Mm-hmm. And Kelly Pavlik was a contender. He's the number 3 contender in the world. He used to know me from the neighborhood running. He'd see me beep his horn when I was training.
Oh.
And he worked my corner. Dude, I won that fight with ease.
Wow.
Everything he said, you wouldn't even want to believe it. He's wait till he jabs, instantly duck to the right.
There you go.
And dude, it worked perfectly again and again. He said, just keep doing it. He's always going to be open for it. I did this move 11 times in a row to this dude.
Wow.
Where it was I duck to the right and then I swoop under with an uppercut. He just seen it. He told me the exact move. He's uppercut, swoop, left hook, swoop, right hand, swoop.
Wow.
Swoop to the right every time. And I'm he's going to know. He's just fucking do it.
That's what's funny, too, because when you're watching the fight, the trainer is yelling during the fight.
Yeah.
He's like, he's dropping the right.
Right.
You would think that this guy would hear that. We're both
Right.
hearing it.
Right.
If I was the fighter, I'd almost turn back to him like, hey, shut up for a second.
It's tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Well, you just don't realize what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. But imagine if what you're doing wrong, the other trainer is just spotting it and yelling it right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's soft.
They do that, and you could hear it.
Yeah.
Uppercut. I used to always hear my trainer saying, uppercut.
If I was a trainer like that, though, and if I just got thrown into it, you know what I'd do? I'd put on headphones and listen to the TV broadcast. Whatever the guy's saying, I let him know.
That's smart.
Joe Rogan thinks you got to throw the jab.
Dude, you got another joke. Nobody's got that joke.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, edit that out of the podcast. Dan, you got some good joke writing ability.
Well, they're always like, whenever you're watching boxing, it's like if somebody who knows boxing, they're watching it, they know, they can tell you, you're not throwing the jab, you're keeping your distance the wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's all you really got to know.
It's funny when you'll see somebody like Sugar Ray Leonard saying what they need to do, and then you'll see some old white dude that never boxed a day in his life, and he's like, well, no, Ray, he should do this.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you mean one of the greatest boxers who ever lived probably doesn't know the answer to this one?
Well, even the greatest boxer who ever lived, he had a trainer. It's not like you train yourself. So
Yeah,
you
but
do
then he
need some
learned.
But it's like, I think there are some, there is an objective thing. Great trainers aren't necessarily great boxers.
Yeah, but this person that's just the ring announcer, he's just a fucking radio host.
Yeah, well, still, sometimes people spot it.
Yeah.
Especially with like especially with boxing these days, I've been watching boxing forever, so I can kind of spot it. But there is always like when I'm actually listening to the commentator, there's a lot of stuff that's like, unless you're really watching the guy's feet, or it's like the way his shoulders move, it's like you're not going to catch it.
Yeah.
I think that's why even boxers, even great boxers, you still need somebody to kind of watch you and
Yeah.
figure out what's happening.
See what you're doing wrong.
Especially with the UFC, because it's like 10 dimensions you're fighting it.
It's a lot like comedy. That's what I keep saying. See, me and you were going in this with no trainers, no managers. I feel like if we had a trainer or a manager, it is going to, ways we can't see, the same as a boxing trainer. They're going to tell you. Like, hey, Dom, wake up before 3 o'clock. Send an email.
Yeah, you're dropping your left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're telegraphing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my biggest problem. I used to cock my punches. That's why I'd never make it as a fighter.
You're doing
I couldn't get over. Yeah. No, I used to bring them back and throw them. You can't do that.
That's so funny.
You got to just throw them.
The guy sees your mouth moving right straight.
Yeah.
You're just saying it out loud. Yeah.
I remember my trainer, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't a successful person. He lived in a basement, rode a bicycle, for Christ's sakes. But, he lived in the gym. Kind of, he had the dream you wanted. But so he lived in this boxing gym. He had all this equipment people threw out, and he just put duct tape on it and hung it up. And it was so weird. He used to always believe I was his only fighter. He had no other fighters.
Wow.
But he had some rich kids' parents would bring their son down for like boxing training for 3 months, Yeah. But they were like, this kid's going to take over my electric fan company business in Georgia, but I just want him to get this experience. He's 16. And my trainer would always be like, oh, that kid will beat the fuck out of you. And we'd get in the ring and the kid can't fight.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I mean, a few years from now.
Wow.
And he'd waste all his time with these guys. And they'd tell him, they'd be like, Larry, I'm not going to fight. I don't ever want to fight.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, hit the mitts 3 more rounds. And I'd have a fight coming up. And he'd be like, I got to work with him. I got to work with Mikey. He's got to get that right good. And I'm like, well, what? I don't understand. I have a fight coming up.
See, this is just like comedy, man. You get no respect.
No respect, man.
You think yourself, oh, they're going to treat me good because I treat them good. And I show up on time and I'm always ready to work. It's like, no, nobody respects that guy.
Yeah.
They respect the bad boy.
I went back home to visit and I seen him. We went to the bar to go visit. And he's like, yeah, you just never had the killer instinct. So I just didn't want to waste my time. I'm like, well, why didn't you just tell me that instead of us wasting 5 years?
That's funny.
Of me coming down there.
Yeah. You never had it. You never will.
Yeah. I had like 6 fights in a row. I knocked them all out. My first 6 fights. All 6 won by KO. 0 training.
Wow.
But I never had it. I even beat all his guys.
A bum.
Yep, and I still see him every now and then. He's just riding his bicycle, smoking cigarettes. I'm like, those two don't go together. He's like, I lost my license.
Old school.
Yeah. Big old hernia. I want one of those trainers with that big hernia in their stomach.
Yeah.
That's
always hacking up a lung.
Yeah, they rock. They grew up on a farm.
Yeah, it's like Mick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to have the hernia. I would love to go down here and get one of these real trainers. When I have money to blow, I want to work with a professional boxing trainer and learn how to throw a right hand properly and how to throw the left hook the right way. From one of these Gleason's guys. Like somebody with actual, I want somebody with some real, you could look them up and be like, oh, you trained with this guy.
Yeah. Lennox Lewis or something. I
don't want no shit you never did this, but remember I did that thing at that improv theater where I worked for the classes, and then they go, oh yeah, we're gonna get you a top touring comedian, and that's the dude from the open mic. You're like, what? You're teaching here? Oh yeah, they just called me last minute.
Yeah. Yeah, why would they get it's not going to be Tina Fey or something.
Right, why would she do it?
Yeah.
But that's how they sell it.
Yeah.
They go, it's under a vast umbrella every time you see those things. It's like anything in the world. Yeah. They like to tell you what you could get. We have trainers that train so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so.
There's always a picture of Hannibal Buress or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just a black and white photo the one time that he was there.
And then you meet him. He never even stepped foot in there.
Yeah, I was from somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's when it used to be called something else. It was actually an Irish bar.
Yeah. That's when he walked in.
Yeah. Oh, man. Damn, we got to figure it out, man.
We got to get some fucking respect in this world.
We should just start teaching comedy, to be honest. You know what we could do? We could teach a how to podcast class. $600 a month.
Yeah. We'll get you an HD tape.
Yeah. After you're done with us, you'll be able to talk in front of a camera for 45 minutes.
You'll get,
Or we can go into the arms trade, start selling guns.
Yeah, I think you can tell when it's things are going bad for somebody once they start teaching.
Yeah, and they get on Cameo.
Yeah. Well, Cameo, it's that's you're on your way down. But
yeah.
It's really once you start offering a class, that's when it's this dude is down bad.
It bothers.
Nobody's doing good when they offer a class.
And people get upset, dude. I was somewhere eating, and I guess I talked about that in front of another comic, and the person that teaches the class fucking called me out.
Wow.
Yep. They're like, hey, so what's the deal? You don't think it's cool that I'm teaching people how to host? I just straight out told them, I said no.
Oh, wow. Well, I could see maybe a class to teach somebody how to host. I could almost respect that more than just trying to teach somebody comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess being how to host is there's at least something to teach.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Andy Kaufman went to one of these classes? This is how you be a comedian. Now, all this stuff that made you famous, don't do that. Right. What you got to do is you got to talk about Obama.
I had a friend who was doing comedy. He didn't do comedy anymore, but we were doing, mics and stuff together. He'd been doing comedy for 6 years, and his girlfriend one year bought him comedy classes. He was already 6 years into comedy.
Wow.
And she spent, I don't know, a few $100s just to get him classes. How insulting is that?
And she just wanted it to work for him.
Exactly. She was trying to be nice. The way that you would get somebody like a trainer or something. But how insulting is that? Imagine if somebody I just spent $600 to get you a class, the comic strip.
Yeah, I sat in one comedy class. This was in Ohio. It was, what do you call? You probably heard of this guy. He doesn't really do stand-up, but he was one of these shock comedy guys. He was a personality. He would show up places. He was the disgruntled clown. You ever come across him?
Huh.
So he was on a bunch of network TV, morning shows in small towns. That's what his whole thing was. He's he did more morning shows than anybody else, any other comedian or something. Yeah. And either way, he taught this class, and dude, it was $1,000, and it was at the comedy club before the show started. and I sat in there in the back, and it was like he's telling people to dress up like as a clown, like do his thing. This is how you contact a morning show.
Wow.
Okay, you need a wacky thing. This is how you become a comedian. So like get a real big hat. He was saying you could have the big hat. Maybe you do something like you get a weird suit.
You get a small hat.
Yeah. And then he lost it because I was in the back. He's like, you owe me. What are you doing back here? This is free knowledge. They paid for this.
Yeah, it's so funny though because you started doing comedy with a hat.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. You took his advice.
I had the fedora.
Yeah, fedora and the vest.
Yeah, the disgruntled clown, dude. He'd walk out. You got to Google this guy. He had a manager and everything.
You know what's so funny about that is that this guy, he probably ripped off that from somebody else.
Right.
It was probably already a disgruntled clown.
I bet you.
This guy was like, no, I'm going to do it with a hat on.
Well, what he did was he'd line up all these morning shows, then he'd advertise that he's going to teach comedy in the place, but then he never headlined anywhere. No clubs ever booked him. So he would just, do, at the end of the class, he did his stand-up, I guess. Somebody told me. His whole thing is he comes out and goes real close to people's faces, like he walks off stage with eerie music playing, and he just gets real close to people and stays serious. That was like he did that for 30 minutes at the end of the stand-up class.
That's called having an act right there. Yeah. You see that?
He goes, the key's likability. That's what he kept saying.
I guarantee you that guy has a stack of business cards in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's the classic, yeah.
His car was a piece of shit. It wouldn't start in the parking lot. It's like, I was like, man, you drive this all over the U.S.? He's like, the class is over.